And it's a powerful, powerful tool for helping planners to optimize and to help them change. So if the trucks come in at a different weight than you were expected, they can quickly run another scenario. So it's very powerful in that. Or the orders come in slightly different. Run a scenario, see what the impact is, and that is definitely a tool designed to help all poultry processors and plan what's going on within their specific poultry operation.
So now the question is how MTech can help with all those challenges, what technologies we have to offer in order to cover all or some of those supply chain challenges.
Yeah, well, Nick, this is a bit that you'll be able to answer just as well as I can. But I mean, in terms of MTech's software, has one of the huge advantages has been the planning tools that are available right through the supply chain. So from breeding through hatchery, through broiler, into feed milling, and one of the real products that we get excited about at MTech over the last couple of years, and that's really exciting because that, in a processing sense, a context, basically plans everything we've touched on today, and helps companies manage the complexity of bringing in customer orders by SKU, and then really trying to look at what live weight, what carcass size have we got, what grades of carcass do we have, how can we, cut them, debone them, pack them into the SKUs we have, and how do we do that? Taking full account of not just the chicken, but the labels, the bags, the trays that we need in order to pack each SKU. And then also looking at, what does it cost us by SKU to do that? And what's the selling price? Therefore, what's the profitability about this? And it does that in such a comprehensive way, looking at yield and giveaway and how we run each and every individual plant with its different capacities of equipment, different types of equipment and production lines and staffing. All of that is an exciting package, which is being utilized already by some customers of MTech today. And it's a powerful, powerful tool for helping planners to optimize and to help them change. So if the trucks come in at a different weight than you were expected, they can quickly run another scenario. So it's very powerful in that. Or the orders come in slightly different. Run a scenario, see what the impact is, and that is definitely a tool designed to help all poultry processors and plan what's going on within their specific poultry operation.
And I think also another important thing that is critical to all this planning, and we already mentioned this several times, it's not only about processing plant, right? Because plant is the end stage of the whole supply chain. So planning the supply chain before the plant is also very, very critical, because you need to get that birds in the right weight in the right time. But then also one important thing for all the poultry is horizon. So if you can see further, you can react, because like you said, the more complexity you put and the closer you get to the processing, the slower or smaller the window is getting for your reaction. So if you can foresee in advance that the birds will be growing faster or slower, or they will be getting more or less consistent, you will be able to move and communicate the changes to the processing plant so that they can maybe tune equipment or get more people, or even communicate to the customers that there will be some changes to their orders.
Yeah, absolutely right, Nick. It's about giving people the tools to be able to be in advance, to flag up the problems or the pinch points or the bottlenecks in advance, when you've still time to think about how to react and respond to it and how to manage your way through that situation. And and I look at planners everywhere. Over the years, they've built incredibly complex spreadsheets that only they use and only they know how to use. And nowadays, if you look at just the last 30 minutes we've been talking, the amount of complexity that's in this nowadays requires requires for something that is a more standardized approach to the way we plan that whole supply chain, and that people, understand, and new people coming into planning can be trained on more easily, and it standardizes that whole approach. But rather than them worrying about how they can grind and crunch their spreadsheets, they're spending a lot more time actually proactively managing and planning and having the dialogue with other parts of the business to coordinate plans and logistics and make the operation run smoother.
Yeah, and like I was always saying to anybody when we discuss planning, is that planning is an art. In order to be successful in planning, you need to be a little bit of an artist, because you need imagination, you need to know what's happening, and you also need to be a very good professional. You need to know what you're doing, but it's always easier and better to do something that you're good at with great tools. It's always like that in every profession, whether it's a carpenter or manufacturer of something, or if you're a planner, if you have a great tool and you have great skill, you will be excellent.
Yeah, 100%. Agree with that. Planning is often seen as a bit of a black box, there's a guy with his spreadsheet. I think you need to get it out, and people need to understand what goes into it and the complexity behind it, and use very mature tools that are in the MTech range and portfolio today. And the one that really is exciting, and why we've been talking about this today, is the whole complexity around processing plants and planning within that environment. And I'm sure you can find out a lot more information on the MTech website. But I think we've had a good chat, Nick. It's been one of our longer ones, I guess, because it's such a big area to talk about. And there's probably a lot more that we could drill into and talk about on the subject. But it's been good fun talking to you about it. And you certainly made me think a bit about how we used to do things in the past and how we could do things even better in the future. So it's exciting opportunities.
Yeah, it's been great talking to you. And for those who just joined our episode of Accelerate, or who watched all this episode, and you don't want to miss new episodes, please follow up on social media. We are on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And of course, subscribe to our channel and check our website. See you in the next episode.
Thanks, Nick.